13th, 2016, Friday the 13th. If you want to follow us on Twitter, please go to CATEX TV. Yesterday, American International Group CEO Peter Hancock was overwhelmingly reelected as director of the company. He received some 878 million votes against some 7 million votes against him. This was the first time there had been a vote to re-elect directors since activist investors Carl Icahn and John Paulson slammed management earlier this year. You may recall that Icahn's letter accused management of either purposely misleading or negligently uninforming their shareholders in regards to the feasibility of a breakup plan for the company. Mr. Hancock's overwhelming re-election suggests that the shareholders have a different view. Interesting news on the Bangladesh cyber attack. Cyber attacks have become a little bit blasé lately. People are now inured to them. However, investigators investigating the cyber heist of $81 million from the bank in Bangladesh last month have now connected it to the hack at Sony's film studio back in 2014. Also, the global financial network SWIFT disclosed another attack on a commercial bank in Vietnam. SWIFT is used by 11,000 financial institutions globally every day. In Bangladesh, cybersecurity experts hired by the bank say that the hackers are still in the transaction systems there. They're monitoring the investigation. Two other groups are also inside the bank's network. One of them is a nation-state actor, according to BAE Systems, which is Europe's largest weapons maker, but also has a cybersecurity arm. The nation-state actor is engaged in stealing information in attacks that are stealthy. BAE is saying that the equipment and techniques used by the nation-state actor are similar to the high-profile attack on Sony's Hollywood studios in 2014. The attack on Sony studios in 2014, the United States government claimed was the fault of North Korea. Canadian insurer Intact, one of the big primaries in Alberta, has notified its reinsurers that it expects ground-up losses of up to 800 million Canadian dollars. This is from the wildfires that swept through Fort McMurray. Sources have told the Insurance Insider that Intact had informed reinsurers that they should expect a loss toward the bottom end of the range. The low end of the range was some 450 million Canadian dollars. Intact has a 20% share, market share in Alberta, so this would imply an industry loss range of about 2.25 billion Canadian up to 4 billion Canadian. If that's the case, it's definitely going to penetrate reinsurance layers. This is the first company to have come out with numbers so far. Other companies in Canada have not yet come out with their ground-up losses, so the reinsurers don't know. China's Fosun International, which was recently rejected as a bidder for Starwood International, the big international hotel chain, is apparently back in the game. They're apparently bidding on Asia Capital Reinsurance Group, which is one of Singapore's largest reinsurers. The terms of the deal might be around $1 billion US. This will be the first major deal for the conglomerate if it goes through, since its chairman, Guo Guangcheng, briefly went missing in China last year. He was apparently detained by the authorities. This is an unusual move for Fosun because they usually have been striking deals outside of Asia. The ninth largest economy in the world, Brazil, an economy ahead of Russia and ahead of Canada, is in turmoil. Yesterday, the Brazilian president, Dilma Rousseff, was impeached, so she now encounters a mandatory 2-month suspension while her trial in the Senate goes on. Her vice president, Michel Temer, has taken over. Mr. Temer says that his first priority is to get the economy back on track. He also has that little matter of the Olympics, which is zeroing in on him this summer, as well as the Zika virus, both of which are going to cause immense difficulties in Brazil over the summer. A number of Olympic teams have already voiced concern about going to Brazil in the face of widespread Zika virus infection. Mr. Temer said that our biggest challenge is to staunch the process of free fall in our economy. The economy in Brazil has been predicted to contract nearly 4% this year after contracting 4% last year. An estimated 2,100 barrels of crude oil has apparently leaked from a Royal Dutch Shell facility in the Gulf of Mexico. A Shell helicopter noticed a sheen about 165 miles south of New Orleans. The sheen was 2 miles by 13 miles in size. It stems from an underwater pipeline back to a Shell drilling platform called Brutus. There was no drilling going on at Brutus at the time. Shell said that the likely cause of the leak is from the subsea infrastructure, and they said no leak is acceptable. The British vote to exit the UK, to exit the EU, I should say, is later this month. And earlier today, Christine Lagarde from the International Monetary Fund appeared with the Bank of England's Governor Mark Carney to say that Britain could enter a technical recession if the vote to leave the EU is approved. Lagarde said that it was possible that the British economy would shrink in 2 consecutive quarters, which is the definition of a recession. She says, we've done all of our homework, we've looked at all of the scenarios, and we haven't found anything positive to say about a Brexit vote. She warned that a panic among investors would trigger shockwaves throughout the economy, sending shares and property prices into a spin. The warning was coupled with a prediction that a vote to remain in the EU would in fact spur a rebound in growth in the second half of this year, ending more than a year of stagnant output and falling business confidence. That's the news for today. Enjoy your Friday the 13th. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you Monday.